Hiya crafters, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and I have a simple stamped card to share with you today, so let's jump right in. Now I have this Eclectic Blooms stamp set from Concord and Ninth. I have some mini ink pads from the Party Collection from Catherine Pooler, have my favorite black pigment ink, VersaFine Claire Nocturne, and here's a photo of the finished card. Now I did some stamping right on a card base. This is 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, which is US A2 size, and the card base is 120-pound accent opaque. Now this is my first time using this stamp set. I will link any available products in the video description box below, but I'm kind of taking this cool organic looking blob basically to kind of lay down some initial color and kind of set the stage on this composition. Now I know I want to do the floral stamping over, and I need to have room in the lower right corner for my sentiment, so I'm kind of moving it around to allow those areas to kind of also fit in the space. Now a flat stamp like that with a lot of surface area, you really want to make sure you condition it, and you want to make sure there's no bubbles on your MISTI door, because that can affect your stamping capabilities. And I have a few of these cool colors from this Party Collection set, and I'm just going to use my brushes initially, just trying to soften the edges where the colors are ultimately going to meet. You're going to see when I stamp, first of all, it's a hot mess express, but I do end up bringing in a middle color, and it does end up kind of soaking into the paper and balancing out as well. And you will see I do end up grabbing my stamp chamois just to kind of soften the edges even further, just to make it an even smoother transition. So I'm going to come in again, just trying to add more ink just to kind of get these inks flowing together within the page, just to blend it out. And here you can see I'm using the stamp chamois, and that really did help kind of blend the color. And then as it dried back, it also just kind of smoothed out, and also with the stamping over top of it with the floral, you don't even notice any discrepancies with that. So here I'm putting down the main sentiment, you are so kind, and then also these flowers. And this was the most finicky bit, honestly, was just making sure there was room for both. I didn't really want the floral to go off the edge of the card, so I was really just kind of trying to line it up just so, because I wanted some of the black, like the tips of the blooms as well as the stems, to kind of come off on opposing sides from that colorful blob. So here, when I get it right, I'm just going to pick it all up, and again I'm going to condition these stamps with my hand to get the manufacturer's goo off of them so they stamp well, because I haven't used them yet. And now I'm coming in with my favorite black pigment ink. This is my go-to, not for Copics, this won't work with Copics, but this is a pigment ink, so it does take a bit to dry. If you want to speed up the process, you could certainly coat it with some clear embossing powder and cook it with your embossing tool, or you could just heat set it, but I just kind of set it aside and made sure not to smudge it up. Now there's these cool little splatter stamp in here that I am going to also utilize on both sides of that blob, just to kind of add some visual interest, and that I felt like was enough. I didn't even need to add any blingage to the card. So this is nice and flat, single layer, easy to ship, and you saw how quickly it came together. So this would be something really easy to batch. You could kind of just have a bunch of card bases ready to go, and you, look at this, I stuck my thumb right in it. I'm a picture of grace, folks, I tell you, picture of grace. Anyway, you could kind of just do all the steps as you go. Like you could do a bunch of blobs and do 5 cards, and then move on to the floral part and all the other bits. So it's something really easy to kind of mass produce if you wanted to kind of build up your stash, or maybe even make a gift set. You could switch out the sentiment. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please hit the thumbs up, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.